Morning from Los Angeles, a clinical psychologist, Dr. Wendy Walsh. Wendy, very, very good morning to you. How should parents monitor these sites to safeguard their children?
Well, the wonderful thing about social networking is that you can create all kinds of strict privacy settings. So it's up to parents to learn the technology and become involved and be a friend of their child on their friend list, child, teenager, adolescent. It is a virtual village. And if parents believe that they should give their children some privacy with their peer group, I would like to caution that, if your child ends up in front of a judge and they're under the age of 18, they're going to point fingers at you. So it's important that you do become aware of what's going on in their social world by becoming one of their friends.
So if you become a friend online, do you have to ask permission from your son or daughter?
Yes, but hopefully you do that at the dinner table beforehand.
But what if that kid says, hey, Mom, I need a little bit of privacy. We're having fun. It's like having a diary that you don't want your parents to read.
And that's when you say, oh, I'm sorry, you lose the technology then. We're not going to allow this account, and it's not going to happen. You see, it has to start early. And here in America, children are usually getting on Facebook by about middle school, which is age 11 and 12, even though the terms of service say that you're supposed to be 13. There are plenty of 5th and 6th graders. And you can make a private account. In my house, for instance, I have a 12-year-old. I have to approve every friend. And there has to be a real-world friend. It can't be anybody they've met as a friend of a friend online. It has to be somebody that they know. And I also exclude young adults that they may know. There were certain coaches or people who worked at the summer camp who are college students, and I just didn't want to have those inappropriate postings exposed to my daughter. So I'd say, nah, not the guy that worked at surf camp, honey. So I approve of all the friends on her list. So that's really what you have to do is you have to monitor. And interesting enough, this new study that just came out shows that if children, adolescents, and teenagers are posting sort of sexual references or sexual content on their Facebook pages, it's implying that they're about to get involved in some kind of sexual activity. So it's a big cue to parents.
A great cue. How provocative can people or young kids be online, more provocative online than perhaps when it's a face-to-face?
The sad thing is they're mostly quoting lyrics from songs that are outrageously provocative, things that they probably might not come up with themselves. But of course, it's easier when you use digital communication, text. It's much easier to say your deepest thoughts. And therein lies the danger, because you may be saying your deepest thoughts to someone who may be a relative stranger. The good side of it is it can bring you closer to friends that you don't see very often, and you can develop a kind of emotional intimacy. But on the other hand, for children who don't know what fire they're playing with, it does need to be monitored by parents.
Well, of course, you said start early, one of the key factors. What are some other points that parents should be listening up for?
Well, I think the most important thing parents need to figure out is what their sexual messages are going to be, or what their family code of morals and ethics are. If you can't figure out how you want your child to live their life and how you live their life, then you can't communicate. Secondly, intervene early. Don't be afraid to answer the questions that a toddler may even ask you. The message you want to send to your kids is, hey, I'm the source of information on all of this stuff. Don't get it from the street. Don't get it from the media. Come to me if you have questions. In my case, I was pregnant when I had a 4-year-old. So the 4-year-old asked, how'd the baby get in there? And I thought about it and thought briefly, maybe I should just say what my mom told me way back when and said, oh, God put it in there. And I thought, no, I'm just going to give her in, carefully worded terms, the story. And so I have become the source of information for her. And I feel very proud of that. Also, you really want to pay attention to what's going on in media and the ratings and classifications that are out there for TV, film, and music. Music, use it. They mean it. Those R-rated movies.
And just start early. I think that's one of the keys. Dr. Wendy Walsh, excellent advice. We do appreciate your time from Los Angeles. Good morning.
Thank you.